This week on Another Brother.
Okay, that's not horror though, right? We're talking about horror or just things that scare you.
I guess we're just talking about being scared.
But in real life.
Right. And the track never ended. And then I woke up.
Oh, another drink, Jacob.
Picks up the phone to dial the number again. Same thing. Just get a dead tone on the phone. Goes back to her parents' room again. The phone's off the hook again, but this time the closet door is open. And her parents have a sliding door out to a porch in the backyard. The sliding door is open.
Brother over here, brother over there, brother everywhere. Another brother.
Hello, brothers. It's October.
And it has been for a week and a half.
By this point, and by the time it releases, forget about it. It's our favorite month, though. I think we've mentioned that.
It's hard to say, but it really, really, really is.
Yeah.
Fun
Man,
month.
have you seen the mountains, though? Maybe I talked about this last time,
Still
too.
green. That's what's surprising to me.
But there's like oranges and yellows
Okay,
and
yeah.
snow caps.
Yeah, the colors are starting.
along all
Yes,
the like
after
peaks.
it's rained.
Amazing looking.
But it's not brown. That's the cool
Yeah.
part for me. It's
Yeah.
like it's usually brown, like before August starts even.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is gonna be an awesome winter.
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah, the scrub oaks are still green.
Yeah.
The rest have turned colors, but it's pretty.
And there's something about that crisp, cold night air that
Mm.
makes October even
It just
scarier.
feels so alive in it. I don't know why.
Well, I think part of it is like it's like the bestial, like primitive man. It just
Mm.
like sharpens your senses.
Mm.
Like when you're cold, you're in like survival mode, and you just like you hear better, more clearly. You see more clearly.
And cold usually kind of just wakes you up,
Yeah,
gets you on alert.
yeah.
I think I said this last time, but I've been listening to scary podcasts
Hmm.
in my morning runs
Mhm.
when it's all dark. That's fun. I like that.
See, maybe do you have sound canceling headphones? Are they like over ear, in ear,
No, it's the
bone induction?
jawbone. Yeah, bone induction.
Oh.
so I can hear my surroundings, which makes
can
it
be
creepier
important.
sometimes. Yeah, for running, definitely important. Like I can hear something off, like,
Hmm.
or I think I hear something. Was that
It's
this?
like when kids
Sound
just
effects?
lines real life up with what you're
Yeah.
listening to sometimes.
Man,
I have to
up-
check myself. If it's the podcast sound effects, or
Right.
if there's actually something behind me.
I was upstairs sitting at our kitchen counter watching the Rhett and Link horror short film,
That was
and it's the first time I've seen it.
Oh,
And so I'm watching it, and it just starts getting into the creepy vibe, and I was making fun of Shayna because she couldn't stand more than like 5 minutes of it. I don't
Uh-huh.
think she got to 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my gosh,
Of that one?
nothing's even happened yet. But it's like the impending like
Yeah.
sense of horror that is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't stand. So I'm like, I'm going to finish this. So I'm watching at the countertop, and right as one of the like doors opening and closing is kind of a theme,
Right.
meaning in it.
Right.
And right as one of the doors closes or opens, I think Brianna downstairs had because that door down there going out to the backyard
Oh, yeah.
is hard to close, and she
Right.
had slammed it, and so you can feel it. And I had my sound canceling headphones on, and I jumped. But I was like, "Oh, that's so stupid!" Of course, it was Brianna, and this is Rhett and Link for crying out
That's what I
loud.
was just gonna say.
But then I could not stand sitting with my back to the open expanse of the rooms behind me. I had to shift.
Put yourself in a corner.
Yeah, yeah, it was wild.
It was good, though, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the hair on my arm standing up.
I could not believe how good that ended up being.
Yeah.
The special effects were just top notch.
Going
Yeah.
through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the
they did
heck?
well.
Okay, so I think that brings up a good segue into what we wanted to talk about. Horror. What is scary? Why is it scary? Why do we like being scared, or do we even like being scared for real? Well, why do we like horror, I guess, in the end, right? What about it do we like? I think there's a few different kinds of scary that can make up horror. Like there's the jump scare, or what you might call startling someone. There's the suspense of impending horror, like you said, just the waiting, knowing that something's going to happen, but not knowing when.
The building tension.
Yeah. There's probably my least favorite, gore.
Yeah, I knew you were going to. Yeah, gross.
Yeah, not scary. Just too much. I'll take gore with my action violence bucket.
Right.
With horror, it's just kind of like, it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't serve a purpose.
Yeah,
I agree.
Body horror, which is like
shock and awe.
Body parts places they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that video game series, Deep Space. Nope, not Deep Space. What's it called? Dead Space. Yeah, Dead Space.
Yeah.
Where those zombie nasties were once human and now they're freaks of nature. That's body horror.
Yeah, that doesn't really do it for me. Actually, we were talking about this a little bit earlier tonight. For me to even count it as horror, because I'm so close-minded, it has to be like, this is something that could like affect, like I could see myself in this situation. It's fairly realistic, given one or two or three things happening,
right,
changing. I could give leeway for like mystical things or fantastical things,
Okay.
But it has to be something that's like something that could affect me and like put me or my loved ones in mortal danger. That's what horror is for me. And I really respond to that.
Okay, so realistic danger that not only you but your loved ones could be in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something that's palpable, something that I can actually like envision.
Right.
As potentially affecting.
So
Okay.
I want to latch onto that and pivot a little bit. Because I think last week we talked a little about horror in general,
right,
and why we enjoy it.
Right.
So I want to make it more personal. On a very personal, real life level, what is scary? Like, even if we were to break it down into topics like Alex did, or subjects, whatever. I was thinking about that, and I thought, one, like jump scares. In real life, you can have jump scares. You're at a haunted house, guy jumps out from a corner.
Yeah.
You're hiding behind a door, and you jump out at your wife. I get Heather like that all the time.
Okay, that's not horror, though, right? Are we talking about horror or just things that scare you?
I guess we're just talking about being scared.
But in real life.
Right. IRL.
Yeah.
And whether we enjoy it or not. And what
yeah,
about
and like
it
what
we
it
do?
is that scares you. Because then from there, to me, there's kind of what Josh was saying. Actual threat, like, to my well-being. That would be a second category for me. And then third, harm has been done to my family. Like, those are when I think real life, what scares me in real life, those are kind of the big three things. Jump scare, it's superficial, but something startled me. I'm worried about my safety.
Yeah.
And something has actually happened to a family member of mine.
I'm going to add one caveat to it, and this is for me, so I guess answering the question, because not being like egotistical or masculine or manly or anything, nothing's really going to scare me. Like in real life, I'm not going to respond in a scared way unless it's a jump scare, but that's like, startling, but it's not going to scare me. I'm just going to be startled. Like, what the heck?
So we're talking about like a fear response.
Yeah. What really, I think, deeply the only thing that would truly scare me is if threat to myself or my family,
right,
and I am incapacitated. I am incapable of doing anything in response, but I have this knowledge and, like I'm immobilized or something. Like if I'm stuck and I can hear family, that would, I think, eat me alive.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, that's top tier. My actual family is in danger, and I know it, and I can't help. So what I'm trying to delineate here is, on one hand, we say, oh, we love horror, we love the season, the movies, scary video games, But then on the other hand, like actual, true, real life fear. Is there any of that you actually enjoy? Or is it just the superficial, controlled, safe space? Like even a haunted house.
If it's something I can respond to, yeah. Because you get amped up, I get the adrenaline flowing, and I go into like the Leroy Jenkins, like, oh yeah, let's go. And that, like, I feed on that kind of energy. So I absolutely do like that. Now I would prefer that it be something like more threatening to myself
right.
than my family. But even like, I remember as a kid, like Brett.
Yeah.
We were at a McDonald's play place when we were kids. And I remember some punk kid older than Brett picking on him inside the playground. And he's like screaming and like bloody murder. And we're like, oh my gosh, something's happening to Brett. But I'm like empowered and I run into the play place and I see these kids and I just went like ballistic on them. But I love that feeling.
Okay, so I think to be clear, you love that feeling, but not that Brett was in danger. You don't love that Brett was in danger, right?
Yeah, correct. I guess in a self-serving way, which it led to the feeling I do like.
Sure. Yeah, I guess for me, it depends on the stakes involved, like Josh was saying. But like, there's a certain amount of fear that goes into playing paintball, especially the way we played paintball.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
you're going to get some pain.
Because there's limitations, yeah.
Right.
You can't go all out.
Right. Well, we played for pain,
but I mean,
but you're not going to die
with ammunitions. Yeah, it's
right. I can't do anything to physically stop you from delivering my pain to me.
Right.
So there's limitations that, even though it's not a mortal danger to me, it limits my ability to respond, and so that helps heighten the sense of the fear that I enjoy. Make sense?
I don't think I followed that all the way. But that's okay.
Go ahead. I jumped in. You go.
But like, okay, so I'm thinking about a movie. The first movie to really, I think, scare me since watching The Ring. And I don't think everybody's going to have this opinion about the movie, but The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
I saw that at midnight.
On a date.
Oof.
Yep.
Starting time at midnight?
It might have been even a little bit after midnight.
Whoa.
And we walked.
He was a freshman.
I was a
college.
freshman. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That relationship clearly, obviously didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, that one for me there was too much potential for realness in that one for me. It felt too real. I need the stakes to be lesser than that. Like I enjoy Stephen King horror because there's a part of me that can easily say, that's not going to be real.
Yeah. The paranormal's too far left field.
But he makes it seem more realistic than my own imagination would have done. And that's what freaks me out about it. But there's still that part of me that can be like, you're still safe.
Yeah.
I need that part of me to enjoy any kind of scares that I'm going through. So like haunted houses, there was a time not too long ago where I was kind of a party pooper and they just didn't touch me because I don't know.
Yeah.
I lost the spirit of it, I guess. I don't know. But I know I'm safe and that's what allows me to get into it. If I don't know I'm safe, I'm not going. I'm personally not going to enjoy feeling like my life is on the line right now.
So as long as you're safe, you can suspend your disbelief and like throw yourself into it.
Right.
Interesting.
Because I mean, that makes sense.
And at that point, the most fun I'm having is when I'm like really working to suspend my disbelief even further. Like make myself believe that the danger could be real. Even though that part in the voice in the back of my head is like, no, you know it's not real.
See, I've been that way for a while. The party pooper, as you put it.
Yeah.
I think I still am. Guy comes at me with a chainsaw. I can't suspend it. I know.
That's what
there's absolutely no threat.
That was the one I was actually going to talk about.
That's what I thought.
There was the haunted house in the haunted forest in American Fork, right? That's what you were thinking of too?
Love that. That's probably my favorite haunted house I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We were going through this giant corrugated steel culvert and you walk in. It's really long too. It was like, I don't know, 30 yards at least. It felt like it was really
pretty
long.
long.
And then this guy with a chainsaw walks out down one end once you're halfway through, and you turn around and someone comes out on the other end with a chainsaw, and they turn them on and they start walking towards you. And I'm in my head, I'm like, nah, those aren't real. They took the chains off, and then they start carving up the sides of the steel, and sparks are flying. I'm like, what? That's when I was able to be like, okay, I can suspend disbelief a little further now.
That's awesome.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I've been to that one.
You were there, dude.
You
Was
were.
I?
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
triple
remember that.
dated that
Mhm.
one.
I do not. Did it have the
Zip line?
zip line?
Yeah.
How do I not remember that?
And there was a 6-wheeler ride through the swamp.
Yeah, I
'cause it's
remember
on
the
the banks of
gator.
the-
Remember the gator ride. Weird. All right.
Yeah, that one was fun. I mean, to me, it was I think just it was outdoor.
Yeah,
In
right.
this little forest grove.
Which did offer a little bit of potential real danger with the hobos that were able to be just out on the banks of the lake. Like, they warned you. You had to sign a waiver that said, we understand that we could get shanked by a river hobo, and we're not going to be held responsible. Or that we will be held responsible,
Yeah.
but not the haunted forest.
You're responsible for your own hobo shankings.
Right. I don't think it's under the same ownership anymore.
Mm.
Because at that point in time, it was for a charity. When we went, it was for a
Oh,
charity.
yeah.
And they had that tent playing black and white, old school horror movies and
And they
monster
had
movies.
bands that came and played.
Yeah, that too. Around
Oh,
a
yeah, that
big
was
fire.
cool.
It was
Yeah.
rad.
That was a really
It
cool
was cool.
place. So, yeah, so things like that, though, that makes me feel... So a haunted house like that, and I think, what's the place in PG? Where you,
Evermore?
Evermore.
Oh, yeah.
Places like that are like clearly constructed
Right.
are harder for me to get into that like true, like bordering on true fear.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, for me, it's like, but if there's
Too difficult to suspend that
Yeah.
disbelief.
I still enjoy the creepy, spooky atmosphere. It's
Yeah.
fun just being there, but like, there's no fear.
Yeah, for the real
Maybe
fear,
a jump scare
Yeah.
here or there.
Yeah, but I think what I respond to the best in like for like haunted houses are places that either have a real history to them or have a fabricated history that is easy to believe based on the place that you're at.
Right.
So
Right.
like, or just like some cultural, like you've read a story in the past about a similar place that you can like plug into it. So like the deaf school in Oregon,
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know why that place was like actually pretty scary to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because that they couldn't hear you screaming.
That could be it. So like places like that, old like abandoned prison.
Mm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've heard of a place out in Tooele that's an abandoned psych hospital, is what I've heard it is.
Mhm.
You never know. And that's the kind of place where you sign many waivers to say, we get to touch you, do not touch us.
One of those.
And they like separate you from your group, strap you down onto a nasty looking rolly bed thing.
Yeah.
Gurney?
Gurney?
Gurney.
There it is.
Yeah, gurney, and like wheel you away from your friends. No.
See, that might take it far enough where I'd be able to suspend
Yeah.
the safe feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I guess I'm a party pooper. What bugs me, what turns me deeply into a party pooper is if there's, I hate to say it, it's usually girls who do like we're going to really try to amp it up and we're going to scream at everything and be like,
Like dig their nails into you.
super over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, come on, like this guy just kind of walked out of the corn and he's wearing a bag over his head, but he's got nothing on him. I could take him out. Why are you screaming? Stuff like that. Like, your reaction is disproportionate to the level of the threat exhibited.
And it's making it worse for me.
Not making it worse.
Yeah, I get that.
That's when I get poopery.
So
Poopery.
one experience that I had where I like legitimately was scared. I'm really embarrassed by my response.
You peed?
No. But I've
fine.
since learned that you always hear about the fight or flight response.
Yeah.
There's a third F: fight, flight, or freeze.
Mm.
Deer in the headlight,
Mhm.
they freeze. I froze. It's so dang it. I just feel stupid telling this story right now. Ian. It was in Russia.
What?
That's scary enough for me already.
It's already minus 40 Fahrenheit.
No, it's like, what time was it? Like 2 a.m. So I'm in my apartment.
Okay.
Obviously in bed, you know. This was an old 2-story, man, I think these were pre-Soviet apartment buildings even. So they're big rooms, the biggest rooms I've ever seen in a Russian apartment. I mean, part of town was all right. It was fine. There were homeless people anywhere. This is Far East Siberia, smaller city of Ulan-Ude. I'm woken up at 2 a.m. by our door handle just being yanked. Just like someone was trying to rip it off and rip the door off the hinges. Like, this guy was going crazy.
Huh.
And like, I knew how secure Russian doors are.
Yes or no? Like they are secure?
Right.
Or they're not
Yes.
secure?
Okay.
Like solid steel frames.
Holy crap.
Filled with sand. They're big, heavy, thick. At least like 9 bolts that go into the door frame.
Good grief, Russia.
Yeah. But still deep, like not deep inside. I just kept thinking like he's going to somehow manage to rip this door open. Like he's going to rip it open. But what's really embarrassing, like it was just a drunk dude who got lost. He thought it was his apartment. Because as he's just trying to yank this door open, he's yelling, "Mom! Mom!" And he's got to be a middle-aged man. "It's Sasha! Open the door!" Like he did sound angry. He's yelling at his mom, "Open the door! Let me in!" He's yanking it. "It's Sasha! Mom!"
Terrifying.
Drunk dude, 2 a.m., trying to get in our apartment.
Yeah.
I froze. Like, I could not move anything other than my head to look at the time.
Okay. Yeah. But I feel that, though. I had a similar-ish moment on my mission coming back late at night. Not late for a missionary's day.
9:30.
Yeah, right.
And the lights of our apartment are on. So, like, first we see, like, our bedroom window, and the lights are on, and the drapes are kind of, like, askew a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then we turn the corner to where the door is, and the door's open, and the lights are on. And the door had been, like, torn apart. Not the door, but the doorway. The bolt had been kicked in,
So the jam was all
splintered
busted
and stuff.
Yeah.
And our fear there was like,
Stupid American doors.
are there people still in there?
Yeah.
And am I allowed to respond? So just kind of like,
there it is.
you're just kind of like froze up for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, but that's my stuff. So I mean, I get it. Like when your home, your personal space, like your place of safety is under threat of being violated.
But did you enjoy that one?
No, because
you knew you had to control yourself.
no, this should get struck from the record. The companion I was with, I was not sure I would be able to like defend both of us.
Okay.
I guess I like horror. I do not enjoy being genuinely, truly scared.
No, me neither.
Or like there have been a few moments. These weren't even as bad. I'm up in the mountains, lost the trail, bushwhacking, fairly steep terrain at that point where I'm thinking, and it's like 1 a.m. starting to get kind of cold. I'll tell this story eventually, or Matt will maybe. I don't know. Thinking like, we're not going to find the trail. I don't there's probably a cliff right there. I don't know what we're going to do other than just try to keep going in the direction we're going and hope and pray. 1, we don't fall off a cliff, and 2, we find the trail again.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a little different because that's obviously not a freeze response. That's more of a not even quite survival. Like I wasn't so scared that I felt like my life was truly at risk. Just enough to get me on edge to start questioning, like, am I going to be okay? Are we going to find the trail? Are we going to get off the top of this mountain safely? So it just kind of heightens things a little bit, I guess.
And you don't like that adrenaline?
I mean, the byproduct is fine. Adrenaline's fine. I don't like the feeling of, well, I guess in this case, being lost. I didn't enjoy that feeling, and I had to kind of just ignore it and just keep going with
The lack of control.
yes, yeah, and not knowing. Because I mean, realistically, it could have endangered us. Realistically, but
I don't like heights.
so there's phobias.
you.
Phobias. That's a
Yeah.
good call too.
Like, I don't know if it's a phobia. I don't know the technical definition of a phobia, but this idea that I could slip and die because I slipped. because
Something as dumb as slipping.
yeah, could kill me is not not okay with me. Like when we hiked into that iron mine
Uh-huh.
in Rock Canyon, climbing up that ladder,
Oh.
quote unquote
Yeah.
ladder.
That was
No.
another scary moment.
Nope.
Yes.
Did not enjoy that. I was tingly in my teeth. My teeth were tingling. I had so much adrenaline because it's pitch black. It's like,
Dude, it was so cool. It was amazing. This was Halloween night, the night before Kaden was born.
Yep. I do remember you guys went there.
Yeah.
Lucky.
But I enjoyed that for sure.
I
There was
mean-
definitely fear there. This thing's going to rip off the wall, and I'm plummeting down. I don't even know how many feet at this point.
because it's impossible because it was pitch black.
Yeah. I probably had a similar feeling in Boyd Caves and Skeleton Caves
Hmm.
in Central Oregon.
Mm.
Boyd Cave was the one that you have to get down on your stomach.
I never
and
got to do it.
crawl
Mm.
through. Yeah, we went with Denny.
Claustrophobia.
See, I'm
Which
not
I didn't much-
claustrophobic, but that sounds
Yeah.
terrible to
I did
me.
not have. I don't have claustrophobia, but there's those moments where, like, I'm accustomed to climbing up things
Mm-hmm.
and finding a way to get down. But there's moments where you're like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have gone up here. I don't know how I'm going to get down.
Yeah.
It was like that, but now put it horizontally, and you barely squoze your skull through like an area and got on the other side, and now you're like, oh crap, I can't get back through.
Yeah,
Not for
just
me.
sounds terrible.
No.
No, that was not pleasant. That one was not pleasant.
Because again, there's enough potential there that like you can feel I'm not getting back out of this. I'm
And there's
stuck.
nothing I
I'm
can
gonna
do
die.
about it.
Exactly.
I think that's the important part.
Yeah, because on the other side, like when you're in the big open wind caves, pitch black, the skeleton caves again, pitch black lava tube, super cold. You're the only people in there, but then you start seeing like glowing eyes in the distance.
What?
Oh yeah.
Spiders.
But then you're like, whoa. You know, I don't know. It's like, it's easier to be fearful in a positive way in that situation for me.
Yeah.
Than
Well,
like,
I mean, you can move.
I'm stuck. I
you
can't do
can-
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can respond.
Do the mine though. Yeah. That copper mine or
Iron-
iron mine.
Iron Mine. Yeah.
That was cool. That definitely had a good spooky vibe, I guess, just because, again, yeah, so dark. And that ladder was so worn, so old, so rickety.
I think I prefer when the challenge isn't a matter of can I keep myself physically safe, but it is can I overcome a story that I know is fiction that's trying to tell me this isn't fiction, be afraid. Can I overcome that? That's what I like about scary movies and haunted houses, is when the challenge is can I overcome what I know is false. But I think maybe I've gotten to a point where I'm old enough now that I just know everything is false.
Hey, kids, do you know what time it is?
Story time!
Being October, we like the scary mood, so here's another somewhat scary story. Believe it or not, it is another track story.
Huh?
Being true to me.
Another one.
And the track never ended. And then I woke up.
Oh, another dream, Jacob.
Okay, so one of our coaches, she was our sprint coach. She's amazing. All the coaches were great, but Never mind. I shouldn't continue that thought. I love Borson. Borson is amazing. I was a sprinter, so she was like, my coach.
Mm-hmm.
She lived out in farmland, and she had a nice farm, and every once in a while, kids would come out to her farm, track kids, and, we do fire, have burgers, just hang out.
She
do
only
stuff
started
like that.
doing that after my group, so she just must have liked you guys more.
No response.
No comment. So I did do this a few times as an athlete, but at this point I was actually coaching with her. Gotten home from the mission, hadn't gone back to school yet, so I had one season where I helped her coach, which was a ton of fun. So I went with a couple of the coaches came, a lot of the kids came, and so yeah, we've been there for a little while. We've eaten food already. We're all around the fire. And another coach, Coach Walker, tells a story. He told us this was a true story. Happened to a family in Salem when he was a kid, teenager, somewhere around that age, and he knew this family. He said it was even like in the news, like you could supposedly verify the story. So this girl that he knew, just one night she was at home, she looks out the back window. They had a trampoline in their backyard. And there's a man jumping on the trampoline. Completely stranger, no clue who this guy is. I don't quite recall what the response to him was. Their response, I don't remember if they called the police or what. But she looks back a little later, and now he's just sitting on the trampoline with his legs crisscrossed, just slowly kind of swaying, bouncing on the trampoline.
Okay.
I think she just ran and grabbed her dad. He ran out the backyard, and the dude just bolted. The next morning when they went out into the backyard to look at it, the trampoline mat, what do you call that?
The mat.
Had been sliced in quarters. 2 big cuts through the mat, and like a box cutter left on the ground under it.
Jeez.
And I don't remember how much time passed, but after that incident, she ran home from school one day to get lunch. She forgot lunch at school, so she ran home to pick up some food and go back. Her parents were both at work. She's in the kitchen making food, and something came up. She remembered something. She wanted to call her mom at work and tell her about something. So she grabs a phone, dials her mom's work, and for you younger listeners out there, in the good old days, if the other phone was off the hook, right?
Yeah, multiple phones in the house without multiple phone lines in the house.
You couldn't dial an outgoing number, right?
Right.
So she picks up the phone, tries dialing a number, but doesn't go through. She's not able to make the call. So she runs into her parents' room where the other phone is, and it's off the hook. It's off the receiver. So she hangs it back up, goes back to the kitchen where she's making her lunch, picks up the phone to dial the number again. Same thing. Just get a dead tone on the phone. Goes back to her parents' room again. The phone's off the hook again, but this time the closet door is open. And her parents have a sliding door out to a porch in the backyard. The sliding door is open. So she's like freaking out now, closes all the doors, locks all the doors, calls the police, calls her dad. Police rush over. They do a search of the surrounding area. By the next day, all they were able to find in like a little drainage culvert ditch in the back, kind of behind their property a little bit, it ran behind this neighborhood, was a purple jacket. That was all they found. No other trace of.
Was it like her dad's or?
Nope.
Not belonging to them?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Not their own property. And that was the last they saw or heard of this weird, creepy guy. So I probably didn't do the story any justice. I think Walker told it a lot better. He knew all the details and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids were definitely spooked out, creeped out. Mostly the girls. I shouldn't have said that.
Hey, facts are facts.
But was it a fact or was it just his perception?
Yeah. Either they were or they weren't. Either you're a bigot or you're not. You decide.
Totally solved mystery.
Either way, kids were scared. It was mostly the girls. I'll say it. Pretty freaked out.
Less editing for me to do.
And then, more people told stories. I don't think they were other necessarily scary stories, ghost stories, whatever, but we kind of ended the night, had fun and everything. That next week, I went to Goodwill. I went to the jacket section.
You're a punk. You are such a punk.
Looked through all the jackets they had, and I found the absolute perfect light purple windbreaker. It looked like it came straight from the 80s.
Did you say windbreaker the first time?
No,
or did you
it's
say
just jacket.
Purple jacket.
I pictured a purple windbreaker.
Right?
I did.
With
See that?
Yeah.
I know.
With the cotton scrunchy band around the waist.
And the
And the
cuffs.
cuffs, yeah.
Yes. Because what else kind of a jacket would a purple jacket be? It just has to be a windbreaker.
It was out of the 90s, a purple 90s windbreaker.
Yes. And it was, it's Goodwill, so it's obviously been used for who knows how long, but it just feels, it's clean.
And for who knows what.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
It
really
could be
means.
anyway. It was clean, but it just looked kind of dingy. It felt
Murderous.
old. No one was murdered. Not murderous, just creepy. So we had kids who qualified for the state championship. Yeah, I've talked about this before. In Oregon, the state championship is always in Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
And since Kaiser's about an hour and a half away from Eugene, we stayed the night in a hotel down in Eugene. So I tell all the other coaches secretly that I have this jacket.
Okay, at least you let them know.
Oh, yeah. Because we definitely worked together. We hatched a plan together.
Oh, of course. How did you get over? Yeah, never mind. Go on.
I rode the bus down with everyone else to the championship.
Yeah.
So obviously we first go straight to the hotel. So all the kids, coaches can drop off all the things they don't need at the track. Throw it all in their rooms. And then a couple of us, we had 2 buses because there were enough kids that we needed 2 of the short buses.
We called them, in band, we
Don't
called...
say.
No, in band, we called them milk cartons.
Yeah.
We did too.
Because they
Yeah.
were white.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had 2 milk cartons. One milk carton stayed there with a couple of the kids who weren't competing that day, I don't think. And then the other bus with some of the other coaches and all of the girls, because the girls had a relay prelim that day, we went to the track. I left the purple jacket with Coach Walker because he stayed behind. All he had to do was go to the front desk and say, "Hey, I'm one of the coaches for McNary High School. One of our girls left her running shoes in their room. Can I get an extra key?" And they gave it to him that easily.
Wow.
Which almost feels
That's
a little
alarming.
questionable.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
modern sensitivities. That feels very alarming.
Yeah. Hopefully
But,
he had some kind
Credentials of some sort.
of
Yeah.
ID.
I don't think it would
teacher ID.
matter still.
Yeah, it's still weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the scariest moment of this whole story.
Well, now,
Let's ponder on that.
if he hadn't said girls' room,
He might not.
Right.
One of our athletes forgot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so weird. Anyway. So he slips in their room, right?
also horrible.
Yeah, that
Let's
sounds
move past
worse.
this.
That sounds worse.
Okay. He got a key card to their room. He took the purple jacket with him.
Right.
He then goes to the track. So we do our day at the track. All the kids compete. I think we did pretty good. I think the girls qualified for finals. In fact, I'm pretty certain that they did. And then we go to a Chinese restaurant. We all have dinner together. Great time. It's fun.
MSG is great fuel for track competitions.
So good.
We go back to the hotel. Girls go into their room. It might have even only just been the one girl who went by herself first. And I think she was like the best target out of all of them. So it was wonderful. She goes straight into the bathroom, closes the door behind her, and she's about to sit down when she looks over the door, and hanging on the towel hook on the bathroom door
not in the
is the purple jacket.
Oh, in the bathroom.
She
Brutal.
immediately freaks out. She is shrieking, screaming, just lost it. By this point, the other girls were in the room too. She flings the bathroom door open. All the other girls see the purple jacket hanging on the hook, and they're all just screaming their heads off now, running out of the room. And who's out there on the other side of the door to greet them? Borison. And they're freaking out like, Boris, you'll never guess, the purple jacket. Boris is like, okay, calm down. What the heck is going on? Tell me again. There's a purple jacket in our room. You remember the story? There's a purple jacket. And they're like, okay, girls, calm down. I'll go in. I'll look around. I'll check it out. Make sure everything's okay. Borison goes in. She comes back out and she says, Lauren, did you make a call while you were in your room? No, why would I make a call? I don't know, but your phone is off the hook.
He did that too?
Borison took it off when she went to check out the room. So then they all start screaming and freaking out even more because not only was there a purple jacket, but the phone was off the hook. So the two big details matched the story. It was glorious. Priceless. It was so good. It was hilarious. I kind of wish I'd kept that purple jacket, but I think I ended up giving it to one of the girls as like a parting gift or something. They may have passed it down, like the boys varsity team had that Carolina neon green jacket that we passed down.
Yeah.
Do you think they like kept it to further the prank for all the freshmen on the
team? Make it a hazing thing.
You know, I think I talked to Borison about that at some further point. Oh yeah, maybe Borison was holding on to it for a little while. And I asked her if she was going to use it. She hadn't yet, but she thought about keeping it just in case, finding the right moment. Oh no, I think she at a further point, like by the time Lauren was a senior, she left it in her car somehow after one practice.
With an old-timey phone in there. A car phone.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't work anymore. Wait, no, hotels still have those phones.
The hotels do. Yeah. Well, do they now?
I think so.
They do.
I think so.
Room service and such.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was probably the best scare that I've ever... I mean, it was a team effort. The best scare I've ever been part of. Yeah. It was so good. And again, Borison really, with that last minute audible, taking the phone off the hook, it just really like sealed it. So good.
Some true talent there.
I almost wish she would have let them organically discover it. You know?
Yeah.
But regardless, excellent. Those two are awesome.
Yeah. Lots of fun there.
Surprised Scott didn't get in on it somehow.
No, not Scott. At some future point, I'll tell a story that Scott was not too happy about.
This was while you were not a student anymore.
Right.
I keep forgetting that part.
Yeah, not a student. I'm a coach. I'm an assistant coach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fired.
Fired.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dang it, that's what I was going to do.
Oh, shoot. You're going to do it better.
Thank you for being our brother. Wow, did
that
we
might
just
be too
nail that?
energetic, though.
Okay. we'll take another run at it then.
Okay. For being our brother.
The first one was too energetic.
Gotcha. Production of this podcast is done by Alex Stewart.
With music by Jared Poff and Alex Stewart.
For show notes, rockin' merch, and other brother goodness, check out our website at anotherbrotherpodcast.com.
Be sure to come back next week.
And tell your friends so they too can become a
brother over here, brother over there.